Hey, what's up guys? I have withdrew 100k from my personal accounts this last month, as you can see in here. Right now I'm going to show you the exact strategy for a day trading, but also I will point out why you are maybe stuck in nowhere and why you may be around a trading for 5 years and still not having a results, right? So let's look at it this way. First of all, day trading doesn't mean trading every day, right? Write this down, right? I understand we are still having this mindset from our 9-to-5 job where you think that you deserve the money only when you are working, when you are selling your time, right? But in a trading, it's different. You don't need to work every day to make money. In the fact, the prop firm data are saying that the scalpers and day traders are blowing the accounts much more often than swing traders or the traders who trading a daily levels, right? And why is that? It's because if you're trading intraday, you probably taking 5 to 6 trades, even more in every day. So you have more chances to make mistakes, to be wrong. And also you need to do really quick decisions and you have to be really focused in the specific time window. So if you are like a 1-minute scalper, let me know in the comment if you are successful or not, or what time frame you are actually trading. And right now I'm going to show you a scheme of my CLS strategy which works for me on the all time frames. However, I am not going below a 4 hours ranges. So right now let me explain, right? So let's say we have a some price action and we can see the price is moving lower, right? And then it starts to move higher, right? So what's happening in here? You can see we have a trend line, right? What is mostly above these trend lines is a liquidity above this high, and also above a trend line, right? So then once this low was taken in here and price starts to move higher, then it can go higher like that, right? But if this low didn't have a manipulation and we still have a room for a key level being lower, right? And then price breaking these highs like that, what's most likely happening in here, right? Traders entering this breakout, right? Expecting price going higher, right? But we know that if there is a still room for a key level to be reached, stay with me right now, I will explain you later on the chart, I will show you this setup. We know that those who entered longs in here on this trend line are most likely expecting price going higher, and what they did, they basically entered it in here, right? They have stop losses somewhere in here, or maybe those who want to have it safe below here, are they expecting the big move, right, or something like that. Then another traders entering in here, right, to the longs. But we know that if this move is not coming from a key level, it will most likely be stopped out, right? So what has happened in here? In here was created a range, right? So we have the range. Now the price is breaking up, right? In here, traders expecting price going higher, right? So in that moment, we are basically waiting for price to move back inside, right? And in that moment, if we get change in order flow in here, right? It's a moment where we know that those who entered long in here are trapped right now. Those who entered in here, they are still okay because they still think, okay, it's just another pullback, right? But then what could happen, right? Our stop loss is safe above here and we can be targeting this whole range, right? And now price is fractal, so this can be happening on all the time frames, right? Even the 1 minute, but I don't suggest to trade this, right? So this is our strategy, right? So we don't need to be looking exactly for this, but we want to see those run-ups into a liquidity in a trend. So now let's have a look to a few examples which I have posted in advance, not in the hindsight, but in advance on a trading view. So we start right now with this USD share price. So we have the price running down, right, creating the range, and then price dropping lower, right? In this moment, those traders entering a breakout, right? And in here we have this trend line liquidity again, right? Trend line liquidity. So price is manipulating, closing inside, right? And then we expecting price to go higher, right? So as we can see, it has moved nicely higher, right? Let's look to another example. We have the price running higher, right? Consolidation breakout, right? However, it's tapping into a liquidity, so we can expect price drop lower. You can see it went down, right? Now we have GBP, again the same situation, right? Price is going higher, right? Manipulating, right? At one specific moment, this was really bullish candle, right? It was really bullish, looking bullish, right? And what has happened then? Price dropped lower, right? And then we have another USD CAD, right? We have the bigger range in here, manipulated, price retested, and then we expecting price drop lower. Where? Into this equal loss. This low is not shown in here on the trading, which doesn't show the whole history. So what has happened? Price drop lower, right? Below in here, right? So now also the Doge, right? Price dropping lower, right? Going higher. In here we had the trend line, it looks like a break, right? And then we have manipulation of this range and expecting price to go lower to the range, right? So you can see it's playing out easily, right? Now I have shown you actually the bigger time frames, right? And for a day trading, we need to see that happening on the lower time frame. But trust me, you don't want to go something like a 1 hour ranges. You need to see a 4 hour ranges. And now, how many chances you have in a day? Every day has a 24 hours. So that means that there will be 6 4-hour candles. So this every 4-hour candle is an opportunity for you. That means that you actually don't need to be watching 10 or 20 instruments. You can have just few, and you can be just looking for the best setups. And trust me, if you watch just a 3 to 4 trading instruments, whether it is on the crypto indexes, on the Forex, you will have trades every week, and you don't need 10 trades a day or 10 trades a week. And my private journal is actually the proof that it's true. So let me show you something. In here, we are looking to my results from a March. In the March, I have taken maybe 10 trades or something like that, right? And you can see most of them was wins, which is very comfortable for your mindset. And I have only 2 losses. Whether in the August, I was trading like a machine gunner, and look at this, right? Almost 30 trades, and you can see win, loss, win, win, break even, loss, loss, break even, win, loss, break even, win, loss, 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 right? In the end, I ended profitable with the 11L, right? So yes, it's profit, but look, in the March, I had 20R, so I had actually 2 times bigger profit than in the August, where I did 3 times more trades, right? And this is really a roller coaster for your mind, for your psychology, and sometimes after those losses and break-evens, you start to doubt your strategy, right? I'm confident about my trading, but this has really tested me, right? So I suggest to really focus on the perfect setups. So right now, let's look how it looks like on the 4-hour ranges. So we are now looking into the monthly time frame, and you might be thinking, why is he showing me monthly time frame when we are going to trade 4 hours? You always need to have higher time frame bias, right? And in here we had this range, right? So what is it? It's our monthly CLS range, right? And as this low has been taken in here, we are expecting the price to go higher into these opposing highs, right? So right now let's go to the 4 hours. In here, in this specific moment, when this low was taken, we are just looking for a longs, right? So we will be mapping out our 4 hours CLS ranges. So let's have a look where we're gonna find them. And right now, I suggest you to do one thing. Don't look at all the ranges, because as I told you, the day has a 24 hours. You probably know that, but you cannot be trading all of them. Look at just the ranges which you can trade, right? So if we will be looking at it with the New York time on our charts, right? So that is actually the 159, 159 candles, right? So you need to avoid the candles when you're sleeping and just the candles which you really could possibly take during the London or the New York session, right? If you're living in the Asia, probably your times could be different, right? But as you know, the volatility, especially on the Forex, also crypto and indices, is in the specific ranges and the trading sessions, right? So let's look at it. So right now in here, we're going to be highlighting the ranges and as per a strategy, right? So what time is in here, right? It's at 1 a.m., right? So that means in here at the 5 o'clock that this would be possible to trade for me, because this is a New York time, and this for me would be what time if I change it into a Prague in here, so it would be 11 o'clock, right? So that's possible. Right now we're just going to highlight these candles because we want to see if we can trade them, right? So I keep this my time in here, and we're gonna keep that, right? So we're tracking the price action, right? In here, what has happened? We have this big move up, and in here you can see these two candles has left what? Equal highs. It means that we most likely go higher, right? So again, there would be possible trade on this range, right? We can highlight that, right? And then we will be trying to find if we can possibly really trade them. Now, 7 o'clock, this happening at 11 o'clock, right? That's my time. I could be taking this one, right? In here, as this low was traded, you don't do anything in this range, right? So this was traded in here, right? Again, look what has happened in here. This equal highs has been taken and they still leaving this relatively equal highs, right? Also remember, we are bullish, right? We're looking just for a long trades because why? Because monthly range has been activated in here, and we have a potential that the price can go all the way up in here. So we want to be taking all the runs for the lows, right? So we have a candles in here. Then again, this is okay. Even though if there is a setup in here, it's at 11 o'clock. I wouldn't be able to trade this, right? And we continue. Price is going higher, higher, right? And we don't hesitate. We have just our bias, and we have to count that we could have potentially some stop losses, right? What is in here? This is a candle at 11, this is at 15, right? So how is this playing out, right? We have the range in here, right? We will see what's gonna be then the outcome. Then again, we have another candle in here, right? Just highlight it. This is 10 o'clock. I would be able to trade this. Low was taken, price closing inside, right? There is nothing, nothing, nothing. This didn't close inside, right? What is here? 7. Yes, this would be possible to trade it. Now at this stage, I'm basically doing the observation. I am not trying to prove the strategy. I'm looking if I would really be able to do that, right? And that's the most important part of the training, being curious, being obsessed to find out where it would work, and not to prove that it would work, but just find out how it's that playing out, right? Then again, looking at here, what's the time in here? It's 11. This is happening in New York, right? Looks bullish. This low wasn't taken. This no. Here's the setup. Yes, this would be setup, right? And now I already see that this one would fail. Doesn't matter, I'm still bullish. I'm looking for the all 4 hours manipulations, right? What time happening here? It's a free, right? Here was the nice setup. You can see this range would play, but this is at the night, right? I wouldn't be able to trade this only if this happened at the night and I enter this at London, right? Then we continue. Another 4 hours candle manipulated on the morning, right? Highlighting that. But I will put these a different color, these two, because we need to see the times, right? In here we have nothing, not manipulation, but not closing inside, right? We cannot catch this, right? Here, yes, it's a short setup, but don't trade for short setups. We have the higher time frame up, right? Here you see manipulation in this candle, right? But it probably failed. We already can see that. That's the part of the game. Not manipulated. This one, right? In here, what's the time? It's a 7, right? It's a New York. Sorry, it's a London, right? In here, 7:11 London, right? You see, this one looks good. Right, so you will get good setups. And again, not overthinking, right? Tight range, manipulation, right? You see, some ranges are quite tight, right? But I'm highlighting them because I'm curious. This one, we will need to see a setup, right? Maybe it would not give a good chance to trade, right? We don't know yet. I'm just observing that, and I didn't prepare this video, right? I'm just showing you the way, right? So here we have the candle. As I said, the goal is not to make it nice, make it real, right? To see how it really works. Okay, nothing in here. What time is manipulation here? 7. It's during the New York, right? So do we have this down candle? Yes, this is our candle in here, right? Range, right? Once the range is up, you see how they're leaving these equal highs. You see, this is a big candle, manipulation, right? Again, here is a nice short setup, but no, we're looking just for a longs. Here would be another setup, right? Down candle, manipulated during the night, and maybe possible to trade in here. But again, I'm going to change to the different colors so we know that it wasn't at our time. Then you have pullback, right? What was the time in here? Yes, that would be tradable. But it's tight, right? You will see that in the end, some of these ranges would not be possible to trade. It doesn't matter. We will see what we are going to get, right? Here, nice manipulation, right? And in here, we have actually reached that monthly range, right? So that's where we're ending. So how many setups was in there, right? So there was actually a 19 possible trades, right? So let's look at them right now closely. Let's go to 15 minutes and we are going to be looking for a potential entries, right? And it can be on the 15 minutes or on the 5 minutes, right? So let's check it out, right? In here, to be honest, we will probably not be able to trade this, right? Only if we basically look for the manipulation in here, right? And then what has happened in here is actually our change in order flow, right? And if we enter in here, right? Before some news probably. You remember, I always say put your stop loss a little bit lower, right? So that would somehow work, but it gives you just 1-to-1, right? Remember, you have a higher time frame bias. You're using these ranges as an entry. You can be targeting 2R even if the range doesn't show you that there is a 2R, right? Right now, let's look at this. So that would be possible, right? In here, we have the manipulation, right? This candle, then price closing above in here, right? So what you do, you entering here, stop loss here, but a little bit lower, right? And what you targeting, 2R, right? Would it hit? Yes, right? Then you can be, adjusting. Anyway, let's see in here. So what's the time in here? Right, this is really tight manipulation, right? Really not that good for the trading, right? I would not trade this, right? In here, I don't like this consolidation, right? This one looks good, right, to me. Look, we have the manipulation and then we have a change in order flow, right? Right? Then if the price closes like this with the gaps and not retesting this, you can decide if you enter on this candle, right, with the stop, and again, stop loss a little bit below, or if you go with a pullback, right? Anyway, not looking for a perfection at this stage, just observing if we're gonna get to RR, right? You see in here, it would not get completely, right? Next one in here, right? You can see manipulation, price closing inside, right? And it's actually happening during the London session, right? So it's really tight in here, but remember, this is a day trading. These 4 hours ranges are like that, right? So you need to adjust yourself into this, and there is a 2R, right? Here's a manipulation during the London, right? Price closed inside, so then you need quite far from here, so you need to wait for a pullback, right? In here, you wait for a pullback. It's happening during the New York session. Now is the question, right? Where would be your stop loss? If you put it a little bit lower, you probably would be stopped out in here, right? That's happening, right? In here, you have manipulation, price closed inside, sorry, right? You're looking for a 2R, you got it, right? You see manipulation in here, price closed inside, so here I would enter. It looks good for me, but stop loss, right? This wasn't a good time of the manipulation, but this looks really nice for me, this close, right? So here is 8 o'clock of my time, so that's where I'm already on the charts, and I would probably trade this because this looks good, right? Like that. Do I get 2RR? No, 1.95, right? In these cases, what I really like is using this inverted fair value gap in here, right, and put the stop loss a little bit below that, right? In that case, I would get 2RR, but this is then about a optimization of a strategy, right? Next, we have a manipulation in here, and then another retest here, 8:30, right? So this would be tradable for me because I got a manipulation, then we got closed in here, right? This is during the night, which I couldn't take. That's why we highlighted like this, right? And then in here, when this is going to happen, I would be able to enter in here, right, with the stop below and targeting 2RR, right, which is somewhere here, right? So not bad. Nothing was in here, right? Here was another bullish one, right? The manipulation really tight. Then in here, it's a good manipulation, good close, nice retest, but this would end in a stop loss. This one really tight manipulation, right? You have change in order flow in here, right? And you entering long in here. You would have to wait because you don't want to enter like this, right? You want to enter from here, right? So you would have to wait for a pullback. Then now it's a question, are you gonna enter in here, right? Is it too late? It's a midnight, 7 o'clock next day, right? And the range has already been filled, right? So you would not be able to enter this trade. In here, you have a manipulation, right? Price closing above these down candles in here, right? And you can enter that, right? You can see that 4 hours, now I'm realizing how 4 hours is really different, right? But if you become a machine and you simply start to trading it, here's some manipulation, closing above, right, during the, here I would have a stop loss, right, because this looks good to me, and I wouldn't trade it with a stop loss like that, right? That's what I can tell you right now, but I would put it here, right? So I would be stop out on this one. Here's the manipulation, you have the change in order flow, right? In here, I would not enter, it's too far. It's too far from this low, right? So I would wait for a pullback, which didn't happen, and the range was almost filled in here, right? Now I can actually see that the price retested this order block perfectly, right? And then it has played out, right? But anyway, this range, I wouldn't trade it next day, right? But then in here, we have another range has been created, right? Price manipulated. Here we have closed inside. Here's a, right? You wait for a pullback. You entering somewhere on the order block, right, with a stop loss a little bit below, and you go for 2RR, which is possible in here, right? If this is boring for you and you are not able to do that, you're not gonna make it in a trading, right? So here was another manipulation, not in our time. This is midnight, 8 o'clock, right? So now coming to the charts, right? So we have this manipulation in here, and we can see price action is developing, right? And then we can come in here during a London session, and we can trade a continuation, right? So that manipulation doesn't have to happen in your time. You can enter the continuation, right? So you get the 2R in here. This is ugly. I wouldn't trade this, you know, it has closed in here. It's really ugly, so it's not, you need to be selective, right? This is perfect, right? However, I wouldn't enter this, right? Because here we have the manipulation, here is the order block, right? And in here, I would wait in here, right? Which simply didn't give me the opportunity. And that's basically it, right? So right now we can check this, how many trades we could have, the potential ones, right? One profit, second profit, not traded. Third profit, fourth profit, stop loss, right? So it's a 8R, 7R, 9R, 8R, 10R, 12R, you don't catch this. 11R, you have the loss. 13R, 12R, you have a loss, you don't trade. And then 15, and then 17. This is not, and that's it, right? So as you can see, you would be able to trade these 4 hours intraday ranges on the New York and the London once these 4-hour candles are manipulated. But you need to have your higher time frame bias built, so you're just focusing on the one side of the trades. You're not taking the shorts, you're just taking the longs, and you are not overthinking what's happening, because on the higher time frame you know where the price is going and you don't care that you're getting the stop. You can see how many trades you would be able to win, and you also don't need to focus where it will go. You just focus on your fixed risk reward 2RR, right? And you're doing that with the higher time frame bias. And right now I'm going to tell you one thing. If you are stuck in a trading, this is because you are not doing this, because you are not curious enough, right? You can get my free Basecamp where I'm explaining this thing, right? But if you ended in there and you didn't make a lot of notes, you will not move anywhere. You are just a self-development junkie. You just watch the course and you just trying it to trade, but you need to do these observations, right? Now you might can say, okay, I don't have time for that, but look at my other video where I'm explaining how you can do that. You have your work, you have your responsibilities, you have your family time, but you can also find out the time when to do these things. If you want to succeed in a training, you will find the time. And you will find it where? By cutting off the Netflix, cutting off the social media, cutting off watching the news, doom scrolling and doing these bullshits, right? So really, write down what you want to do in your life, sign it up and commit to it. Then create your habit meter and follow these habits and do this consistently for the next 90 days, and you will also withdraw 100K very, very soon. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you don't need another strategy. You don't need to learn another new thing from the YouTube videos to consume new content about a self-development and the training. You need to do this. You need to be curious. You need to find out these things. And this is just a beginning, right? You go through the hindsight and you look how it could work. And then you need to do also the backtesting and trying to do the live execution in the markets, right? That's another level. So I understand, my friends, this video might be boring and long, but this is it. This is how the trading should be. If it is excites you, if you're coming to the markets, oh, exciting, today I'm gonna smash it. Market will really punish you and will learn you the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up in here. Subscribe to my channel, hit the like and follow me for the next trading tips like this one. Take care, and I believe in you. You will make it, but not without a hard work.